for joining. I see that the sound is working this time. A bit late today, just got back from a haircut. It went unexpectedly longer than I thought it would. It's amazing how many people were lined up for a haircut at 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday. So thanks for joining, guys. Let me know how long you've been playing the oud for, and where you're from. Hello, Carol. Hello, John. Great to see you guys here today. We're going to be doing some warm-ups today with rhythms. This was a great idea, thanks to Carol, who's a student of mine and always coming out to these YouTube lives. Thank you for that suggestion. A really good suggestion. I need to warm up. I haven't touched the oud yet today, so perfect. Remember our tuning. We have the tuning Si, Do, G, Sol, D, Re, A, La, F, Fa, and Si, Do. Alright, Fuji Spirit, thanks for coming. Hope you'll enjoy this. How long you guys been playing the oud for? Let me know. It helps to know what people, what your skill set is, so that I can gear this more towards you, and not go too fast or not go too slowly. So it helps to know how long you've been playing. Let's play some music. I need to warm up too. Give you a little hint of what I'm going to be doing. Thanks for commenting, guys. Bar, nice to see you again. Trevor, Marwa, good to see you guys. All right, cool. Took lessons for 6 months. Okay. All right, Danny, cool. Perfect. Okay, good to know, everyone. So today we're going to do some warm-up exercises. We're going to look at some maqams and go up the scale, down the scale, whatever. And we're going to use rhythms in doing that, the way I just showed. But the first pattern that I want to show you is a pattern that we do with the right hand down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Let's do that again here. Think of a good tempo, a nice slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, 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 down, down, up. One of the most useful patterns you can do on the oud. So we're doing a down, down, up over one beat, one count. Down, down, up, 2, down, up, 3. And where this becomes really useful when you're playing songs that are simple and you want to spice them up a little bit. So getting your right hand in the pattern of doing this really nice and strong, not having to think about it, will allow you to, anytime you have one beat for nothing and you're playing a note. Let me give you an example here. Let's see. Okay, this melody. 1, 2, 3, this. See how you can add a rhythm to a simple melody. So if you get good at doing this down, down, up, you can do it virtually anywhere you can think of. So we're gonna do it with a scale. Let's do something a bit easy first. Let's do the F major scale, okay? So let's do F, and then G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So we're going to do one note per count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to become down. Yeah, this is used a lot, Trevor. That's a good point. Sometimes you can do it a lot, but later on, as you get creative with this rhythm, you can syncopate it a little bit too. You don't have to do 2 strokes. You can do you don't have to do 3 strokes. You can do 2 strokes. And so forth and so forth. You can get more complicated with it if you're feeling like you're doing the same thing too often. But it helps to add rhythm to your playing, especially when you don't have a percussionist around, adding these little fills. So down, down, up, 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 down, down. Now, where this gets interesting is that you don't have to stick to the notes in a scale. You can do this in any pattern you like. Any notes that you feel like. You can start improvising. see how I didn't just stand on one note there. I put 3 notes on that same pattern. So it helps to first get the right hand really doing this without having to think about it too much. Then your left hand can start doing some interesting things, and feel free to explore the fingerboard. That's for the more advanced people out there. Try to do that, mixing up the melody with that rhythm that you're playing with the right hand. So now for those of you who want to follow a pattern, you can get improvising by, think of a pattern of a string of small notes, 4 notes at a time, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then start on the next note in the scale, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one, so forth and so on. And just do that pattern on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You can do this kind of thing too. And then as you really get good at this, you can just explore the fingerboard. You can do different maqams. Let's do another one. Let's go from, let's do something on C. We're gonna do, let's do Nahawand. So C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, and we'll go to B natural, and then C. Okay, let's see what we can do, play around with this. Try this pattern where you vamp that same rhythmic pattern on the C note, and then you do one stroke on the G. The G below with the second finger here. Now, this is a bit more advanced, but what you can do in this, you can go and then change the 2 strokes. So you're always consistently going from G to another note. G to C, then G to D, then G to E flat, then G to F, G to G, then G to A. Playing this rhythm on strings that are far away from each other. So G down here, C up here. So this was a simple right hand pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And the next one I want to show you is a rhythm called Malfouf. It's a 2/4 rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, but it's syncopated. It's doom, tech, tech, 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 boom, da, da, da. So what you can do here, let's go back to a scale. Let's go to Nahwan again. 1. Do it on the same note. All downstrokes. 1, 1, 1, 1. Now change the note. Change the note again. Change the note again. Now, what you can do from there is to change the note more frequently. Once you get good at this, you can change the note within the rhythm. So you can go. Yeah. So you get an idea here of what you can actually do with just knowing a rhythm and mixing the notes, getting the right hand to do the same thing. You're basically improvising right on the spot. You're composing right on the spot, and you're making music. And you're making music and you may start simple, may start like you're playing scales all the time, but you have to start somewhere. So that's one way to warm up, practice. You're not only going to be practicing your right hand, left hand, but you're also going to be thinking about where to go, exploring the fingerboard and that kind of thing. And you can do it very simple, or you can get more complicated as you get better. So these are some cool warm-ups. Let me show you one more rhythm, which is a bit more complicated, let's say. This one, let's do this in Bayati, okay? So we got D, we have E half flat, or E quarter flat, we have F, we have G, we have A, we have B flat, we have C, and D. And this one, we're gonna do like a maksum rhythm. Doom tek, tek doom, tek, doom tek, tek doom, tek, doom tek, tek doom, tek. So same idea, we can do it on one note. All downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Get this rhythm. flat, F, G, A, B half flat, so now there's two halves of the rhythm. There's first beat, second beat, third beat, fourth beat. On the first beat, on the first two beats, we're doing, you're doing that basically. 1 and 2 and then 3, 4, we're just doing downstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the first 3 strokes, and then the last 2 strokes, we're going to go to a new note. So we're going to go. As you get more confident playing this, you can start adding more strokes into the rhythm that you're doing, and then you can keep going with your left hand and do whatever melodies you want, and then you're all of a sudden improvising on the beat. So you'll get better at doing this, and the more that you practice just this simple rhythm, you'll get more confident playing the more intricate strokes, and then finding melodies, finding little pathways, getting inspiration from the music you hear, getting ideas, taking those ideas from songs that you hear. So yeah, these are some great warm-ups, and you just start very simple from down, down, up, down, down, up. Go into some other rhythms like malfouf, down, 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 down. Go into maksum. So this is really one great way to warm up with rhythm, and I highly recommend you do a little bit of this during your practice. It can be quite fun. You'll find that you'll get into repetitive patterns. That's okay. That's normal. Sometimes you need a bit of inspiration from outside sources to give yourself some ideas of where to go. So don't be afraid, if you're falling into the similar patterns, just try to do something different. See what happens. Sometimes you'll have to experiment, and some things will work, some things won't work. So if you have any questions, I see there are some questions in the comments. I'm going to take some time to answer them right now. This week, actually, if you're on the newsletter, tomorrow I'm announcing special enrollment for my Masterclass Oud learning program, the online program. There's a chance to bundle the Masterclass where you learn ornaments and techniques and how to put them on the Oud in different compositions. And when you bundle that course with my Egyptian music course, volume 1, you can save some money. And we're probably going to have some bonuses along with that as well. So that's starting tomorrow. So if you're on the newsletter, you can hear about it. If you're not in the newsletter, you can go to the description and sign up at the link for the newsletter, and you'll hear about it tomorrow. So that's what's happening this month. And so if you have any questions about oud playing, buying an oud, playing the oud, recommendations, happy to answer your questions. Let's see here. We've got, I know there were some questions here. Happy to talk about anything oud related, music related, any of that kind of stuff. So do you like playing solo or with others more? I like both. I think music is really for sharing, and music is really meant for that. However, there is a solo component to it as well, and but I think it equally. I enjoy both. Sometimes it's nice it is important to do both. I think like even playing solo is important because you can explore ideas better. You're not bound by communicating with someone else and creating something with somebody. You can create something for yourself and then develop it. So that's important. That kind of introverted kind of work, being focused, that's really effective for developing your technique and for learning things and all that kind of stuff and developing something. But music is for sharing, I think, and so playing with others not only is satisfying on different levels personally, but also for your technique as well, because you really have to communicate. You're starting to use it as a language, music as a language, and you're communicating. You're finding commonalities. You're creating harmony, dissonance. You're doing all kinds of things, and you're weaving all that together, and you're creating something new out of it. You're putting 2 or 3, 4 heads together, and it's coming up with something new. So I love both, really. But these years since I moved to Japan, I'm a little bit more isolated from other musicians, so I haven't had much to do with. I haven't played with people very much, and I've been focused on teaching. So I'm very busy with just teaching students and all that. But I do play with myself when I record music. I play, so bang out some beats on drum, put that into a loop in my recording software, and I try to work on things myself. It's not really the same thing, but So another question here: what would you recommend after knowing the maqam back and forth to the next level of really playing songs? What would you recommend? So they kind of go both in hand. So when you learn a maqam, you're basically learning the notes, but the songs teach you how to play the maqam. So learning repertoire, learning songs, playing songs, knowing the songs very well are going to help you to learn the maqam better. And so the more songs you learn in the same maqam, the more you get to know that maqam, and the more ideas you're going to get. So you have to do both at the same time. At first, maqam is just learning a string of notes back to back. But you can also describe the intricacies of maqam in words, and you can read about it and this stuff. You can hear a taqsim, but compositions give it some structure, and I think that learning songs is one of the most important elements to learning a maqam. However, some people do really benefit from talking about a maqam and reading about a maqam too. So you have to kind of use all kinds of things, all kinds of tools. You have to sing the maqam, you have to play the maqam, you have to hear different examples, you have to learn lots of songs, you have to do all of that kind of thing. Yeah. So the brand of this oud, this one is a custom oud. It is made by Yildirim Palabiyik, and this one has a cedar top, wenge back, and it's one of their higher tier models. It's not one of their lowest, it's not one of their highest, but it's kind of in the middle. This special design that they very random inlays. This is the design they made for me. So you can get this particular design. The model number is I can't remember the model number right now. Anyway, but you can see it on their website. If you want to go to their website and check out their ouds, sultaninstruments.com, sultaninstrument.com. They have a couple sites actually. sultaninstrument.com, sultaninstruments.com. They also have, I think it's called Oud World. I'll check it out. One sec. See if this is theirs too. Oh yeah, this is their site as well. Yeah, here's the link to this model. Good question. Is there any benefit to knowing the distance of the tones? Yeah, absolutely. It's key to look at the maqams in their building blocks, the jins, tetrachords or pentachords, and knowing the distance between them. You learn this over time. You don't have to really learn it right away, but it helps to learn over time. As you're learning a song, as you're learning maqam, you take note of the distance between the notes and sing the distance between the notes too, so that you feel it in your body. That's important too. Let's see, there's some other questions. Could you suggest some musician or song for any maqam? For any maqam? Yeah. Well, there's a lot. That's a big question. Let's see here. What would I suggest for that? There's a couple good albums actually that go into, if you just search oud and maqam in like your streaming music streaming software like Spotify or iTunes music, you can find a lot of stuff. Let's say there's a couple good albums, but it'll take me some time to find it. Fuji Spirit, if you want to send me an email at support@OudforGuitarists.com, then when I get some time, I don't know how soon I can get to you, but I can send you an email, respond to your email, and give you some suggestions of some albums of some certain musicians to listen to. Yeah. My favorite ensemble I've seen so far was Simone Shaheen playing Alcantara, surreal stuff. So you played with him, or a masterclass, right? Yeah. When I went to the Arabic music retreat in 2016, God, that's a long time ago now. It feels still like yesterday. I was put into his all the faculty, all the guys like Charbel Rohana, Simon Shaheen, Ali Jihad Rasi. These, the faculty of the retreat there, they all they all have a group, a small chamber ensemble. So you get all the retreat people, they get put into different ensembles. So I was put into Simon Shaheen's ensemble, which like I get kind of randomly chosen. It's not like better people go into one or lower people go into another. It's not like that. It's like everyone's divided up. Maybe they do it. They probably divide by. They do check your level, so they probably balance it out for each ensemble, so that there's one ensemble is not like full of beginners and stuff like that. So anyway, I was put into Simon Shaheen's chamber ensemble, so it was great to be able to see the way he teaches an ensemble or directs an ensemble on how to perform a piece. And for a first while, you're just doing. It's a very organic experience of doing the music with him. In that, you start the piece and you do it in a simple way, and then he starts adding stuff, here and there, and it gets one musician to do something differently. Starts adding these different layers. So that was a really cool experience. Yeah. Highly recommend it if you have the chance. I think this year they will finally do the retreat back in person again. They were doing it online for a couple of years because of COVID, but if you do get the chance, it's a great experience. I highly, especially Trevor, for your level, I think you'd benefit a lot from it. So yeah, check that out. Let's see, any other questions here? They also team you up with an individual Oud teacher, and you take some sessions during the week. Like I think it's like an hour per day or something with a Oud teacher. Mine was Charbel Rohana, so that was a really awesome experience too. Yeah. Do you recommend sticking with either an Arabic or a Turkish Oud, not trying to switch back and forth? It doesn't matter. However, the music is both very different. The functionally, in practical terms, Turkish Oud and Arabic Oud, they don't have that many significant differences that it's gonna harm you in any way if you switch back and forth. They're basically the same instrument, and in the most important ways. It's not like viola and violin or cello and violin. Those are so different in more ways, more significant ways. But you hold it differently and you play different things on them. But Turkish Oud and Arabic Oud are not that different. So if you like, for me, I have both. I play both styles, but it just takes more time to get through repertoire. So if you want to. If you want to explore both, like I have, at first you're going to be listening to both, and you'll be kind of confused as to what's going on, what's the same, what's different, all this kind of stuff. So it's very hard it takes years to get through it. You kind of have to focus on one style, not necessarily the oud. You can use an Arabic oud for Turkish music. You can use a Turkish oud for Arabic music. It may not have that right aesthetic quality, the sound that Arabic musicians prefer, might not have that, but it's not going to be a detriment or anything. I would recommend just sticking to learning a certain style of music for a period of time. And then if you want to explore another style, go ahead once you feel like you've gotten somewhere with that. The systems of music and the way of reading notation is very different. Arabic and Persian music notation is like in the West, where a note on the page is what it is in absolute pitch. So an A is an A. But in Turkish music, it doesn't work that way. They write one score for everything, for every instrument, and that's how it is. If you want to transpose to a different key, you have to do it in your head. The notation stays the same. It's it's stable. But if you want to do Bayati on D for one composition, and then you in Arabic music, and you want to, our singer sings higher, so we got to do it in G, you have to rewrite the whole scores. But in Turkish music, they don't do that. They use one score, they transpose in their head. Everything stays the same. So it's hard to sift through all that kind of stuff that's happening. Those are some of the differences that are going on. So good questions. But yeah, no problem going from Turkish Oud to Arabic Oud. I have both, and nowadays, before, like 20 years ago, when I was getting into the Oud, you had Arabic Ouds and you had Turkish Ouds, but nowadays you have a lot of Turkish makers making Ouds for the Arab market because they're so lucrative. You have a lot of people who can spend a lot of money in the Gulf area, and they can buy high quality ouds. And so the Turkish luthiers, they've caught on to this, and they're making Arabic style ouds that are made in Turkey. Is it a Turkish oud or is it an Arabic oud? It depends on who you ask. The only functional difference is that Turkish ouds are tuned up a step. And they're shorter, and the bracing can be different too. The bracing is always different depending on the oud, but subtle differences. We're talking about little details, but functionally it's about the same. Some ouds were meant to be tuned in a particular tuning. So Turkish ouds are meant to be tuned higher, but they actually tune down sometimes too. They have a tuning for that, and they actually tune their ouds down too. So they do use Arabic tuning occasionally, but it's just more common that they tune one step higher. So you need different strings. It's better to have a shorter scale oud for tuning that high. This is a Turkish made oud, but to an Arabic style. But the only person who would know is the person who built it. But it's tuned in Arabic tuning. It's a Turkish scale. It's 58.5 centimeters from nut to bridge. So is it Turkish? Is it Arabic? Depends on who you ask. But there is a big... now I don't have my Arabic oud, my Syrian oud here. There is a big difference between Arabic ouds too. Like Syrian ouds are a little bit drier sounding. Egyptian ouds maybe have a bit more echo, I've heard. They have different qualities. Even ouds in Morocco, they have a slightly different timbre and tone. So yeah, there's a lot of variety. Might get a Turkish multi-oud. Yeah. All right. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. If you guys have any questions about anything that's happening this week with the promo that I've got happening, or if you're looking to buy an oud, I'm always available by email if you have questions. I do have some slots for oud students, for private students, Zoom lessons, of course. So do contact me if you're interested. I'm always available at my email, support@OudforGuitarists.com. And if you have any last minute questions, I'm happy to answer. To play for you today. But let's see if I can leave you with something. Let's see. Maybe with an easier song. Let's play something I don't usually play very much. Oh, this one's a good one. Oh yeah, this one I've been playing a little bit these days. This one's Ayahilu. Ayahilu. My Arabic pronunciation is not very good. I love this. It's in Bayati. It's a beautiful. Bayati has a beautiful stop on the B flat note on the 6th degree, and that's an important feature of Maqam Bayati. Before coming back down to the home base. Now let's play something different. Let's play some Persian music. Let's see what I can play for you today. I don't usually prepare Persian music for these kind of things, but actually let me play you a composition of my own that I've had in my head for many years, like for 6 years, but I had never notated it. I finally notated it the other day, and this is a kind of a Persian folk style of a tune. If I can find it here. Sorry guys, had a technical problem here. it up. Sorry. All right, here it is. Dang. Let's export this. Get out of here. Thanks so much for joining, guys. It was a pleasure to have you here. Let's see here. All right. I had some questions here. This is great. How do you remember the notes for so many songs that you know? Sometimes some songs I memorize, but a lot of times these days I don't have time to memorize songs anymore, you know. And I'm not performing all the time that, you know, like gigging musicians, so I don't need to memorize music. I heavily rely on the notes these days, and that's just the way it is, you know. Like I just don't have the time to memorize, so so you know, I rely on notes and that kind of thing, even for my own compositions, just to, you know, get a memory aid. But yeah, if I'm actually gonna perform, I might mostly memorize the pieces. Yeah, this maqam is it's a Persian mode, and we call them dastgah or avaz, and it basically means like a melody, or a system. And this one is in something that's equivalent or roughly equivalent to what we have in Arabic music called maqam bayati, but it's a bit different. And it's called, in Persian music, it's called avaz abu ata. Abu ata. And there's a mode within abu ata called hijaz, not to be confused with the Arabic hijaz. It's completely different. And when you go to hijaz, you go to the fifth degree. Before going down here. But yeah, this is in Abu Ata. All right, thanks so much for joining, guys. It was a pleasure having you guys. And yeah, thanks. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.